Hello again. It's raining on and off at the moment, so what I was actually going to do today I've had to postpone. So instead of doing nothing, what I'm going to do is sort out the cushions on the inside. Now I'm not going to chuck a lot of money on this. I've got lots of old foam, so I'm just going to basically make some. If you have no needlework, embroidery, whatever the term is, I can't quite remember, but if you can't do that, then here's a very simplistic way of doing it, because I'm not going to mess about. Once the build is done, then I'll get some proper cushions, but for now we just want something to make it usable. So what I've got is a lot of offcuts of foam, right? So I'm gonna make these cushions. The next thing I have is a load of old curtains. So these are actually old curtains where I've got some offcuts from. So those are the two main ingredients. Now the next thing I need, pretty straightforward, is one of these. Now this is a bread knife, right? One of the easiest ways to cut foam. It doesn't make it entirely, you know, a beautiful accurate line. So it looks a bit scaggy and wavy. So you can do one of two things, right? You can use a bread knife and cut the big cuts, or you can just go straight to scissors and sort of cut it that way, but that's much slower, much harder work. Or you can use this just to trim off the edges, right? So as you can see there, look, you can see you've got this sort of sword line on that, and it's not a very straight line either, but it's okay, because when the material goes over it, you'll never know. Okay, so the next thing we need on the list, some of this adhesive spray. Now the idea is that I'm not going to sew anything. I'm not going to waste hours and hours trying to put zips in or all that kind of stuff to make it washable. Like I said, this is only a temporary fix. Once everything's in properly, then I'll get some proper cushions done, and yeah, then we'll spend some time making them proper. But for now, this is just a quick way of getting it done. So I've got some adhesive spray, and then all I'm going to do is cut foam, cut cloth, spray cloth, stick it on the pad, and job's a good one, right? So I'm going to show you where we're at the moment in regards to where these cushions are going to go, and then I'm going to show you the end result. So stick with us, and don't forget, like, subscribe, click the bell notification. I keep forgetting to say that, but as we're a small channel and I'm trying to grow, and I want to do sort of more of this because it's fun apart from anything else, then it would be really helpful if you could subscribe and join in the conversation. So, right, let's get on with it. This is the van in the position at the moment without the foam on and everything else. So like I said, if you look at the woodwork on this, all of this is being changed. These are old doors off my old cupboards on my old van, and they don't fit, but I made them myself, and they hold that together. I'm going to do it better in the long term. So this is basically a storage box, right, which is a great little thing. It's also a hop up to get on the bed, right? But again, everything is replaceable on this. So here, what's going to happen, I'm going to turn this into a seat. So there's going to be foam on the top here, and then up in this top corner here, there's going to be foam as well to make a backrest. And the same over here, we're going to put some foam on top of that, and then on top there. I don't know whether I've shown you this, guys, so I'll just show you it now. So what we have here, and as you can see, like I said, everything's wonky, don't worry about that, it's going to be changed, right? So what we've got here is we've got our basic toilet. So, that lid does stay up. So the lid goes up, the door opens there, and if we look at this from over at this angle, let me just see if I can show you this. So if you look at it from the bed angle, what you've actually got is reasonably discreet. And of course, if we need to, we've always got our bedroom doors that we can just pull closed. So if we remember those from a previous video, they're just concertina doors, and they fold up and they just shut off the entire bedroom compartment. So you can either step outside, or if you'd like, you can just close the bedroom doors. And so that's the toilet. Now you can see the foam in place. So we've got, this is the toilet seat, so that's going to be there. That's up behind the cab next to the kitchen area, which is great. And then we've also got this nice corner seat in here, which is, strangely enough, that's somewhere where we tend to perch quite a lot. I didn't think we would, but we actually do. We use that quite a lot. So we're going to get those covered up now. So this is the material that we're going to use. And as you can see, it's just straightforward enough. The idea is just to cover these bits of foam. So I hope you can see this okay. What we've done here is we cut the foam to size, and then we've cut the material so that it's got an overlap here. So this crosses over onto the back, and that will help to just stick it down and tidy it up. Now, obviously, if you're a seamstress watching this, I apologise wholeheartedly. I appreciate that's a skill set all by itself, and it's one I don't have. So that's why we're doing it like this. So what I'm going to do now, I've just put down some cardboard just to make it easier. I'm going to spray, just as I would anything else, I'm going to spray the back of the material, and I'm going to spray the foam, and then hopefully I'm going to marry them up so that it's square, and then fix it all down. That's the plan. Now I know you guys know this, but I'm just going to wait for it to just get a little bit tacky, so I'm going to give it sort of 20 seconds or so before I put the two together. So the idea is then you've got a decent key ready to go. Right, so from here, let's try and add them up. So I'm just going to cut the corners here just to help with the overlap. So every corner here, I'm just going to trim it. I don't know whether you can see this. Just going to cut the corners back. It just helps when I fold it, just to make it look that little bit tidier. And that is the first cushion done. That's the biggest one. It took all of 5 minutes. This is the last piece. So I just got to get this sprayed up. So this process has only really taken an hour maximum, so it's not long at all. And what I did notice on this, I found it easier to actually mark the pieces to the right size, top and bottom, so it just made it easier for me to know where I'm placing things. So, I mean, it's only a little thing. I suppose if your cushions are exactly sort of square and what have you, then it doesn't matter. But if they're just a little bit wobbly, just a little bit square, or if they've got to go into a particular angle, such as the one up in the corner there, I've got to cut that curve around the door frame, then in that case, it makes it easier just to mark them off. Okay, so we're folding the ends here, just like we did with the other. Fold the ends. Right. And then from here, I'm just going to cut across these ends here, and the same on the other side, because that just makes it much tidier when I fold the corner up. So let me head towards you. So here you can see now, this is the flap that's left on the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim this now. So here, look, and I just trim this all the way around here, and I can cut this now into the back of the cushion cover there. And then what that does is it gives me what I think is a reasonably okay corner, considering what it is that we're doing, and we're not trying to there, look, see? I think that's worked out okay. Now the last thing I've got to do on this, the covers are in, so what I need to do now is use this stuff. So this is basic Velcro. Haven't got a lot of it, it's just a piece I had hanging around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this just to stick on the back of the cushions and stick to the back of the frame there, just so they don't go flying off when we're traveling around, but they're easy enough to remove. So again, another 5-minute job. This stuff is very straightforward. It's just Velcro. It comes in 2 bits, 2 strips, and 1 strip sticks to the other strip. It really is that simple. So I'm going to whack these on the cushions now. 5 pieces, 5 cushions. The easiest way I found of doing this is to just affix it to the cushion itself, or the thing you're going to stick. So I've put both sides on here, and now I'm just going to offer that up and stick it on. So that's it. We now have our seats and our little mini chaise lounge, if that's how you pronounce it. So here, look, this is the seat covering the toilet. And then over here now we have our, as I said, our little recliner here. So let me show you what that looks like. Here we are, cushions built, and the whole process took hour, I guess. Very simple. It was just some old curtains and things that I had lying about. So the only thing I actually brought was a can of spray paint, which was about £5. So as I said, they're not to stay here forever, but they will certainly do us for our travels so that we can get out and about, because I want this to be a working van. It's no good having it sat on the drive and spending 2 years building the thing. Much better to just, you know, do bits as you go, which is what I'm doing. And in fact, that reminds me, because I've only just started this, there's been lots of stuff that I've done that hasn't been documented on the channel or Instagram or anywhere else for that matter. So I think what I'll do in an upcoming video is I'll do a walkthrough of all the stuff that I've done so far, because even though I haven't videoed it, I have taken pictures along the way so we can see the sort of progression to where we are today, and then hopefully that'll bring us up to speed, and then we can carry on from there. So as long as, you know, as long as this is interesting for you guys, then I'll try and keep doing them.